Hi, I'm Deborah.
And I'm Deanna.
And this is our Twin Talk. And so it's our mission to inspire you, to motivate you, and assist you in cultivating your best life ever. We'll teach you how to do it from the inside out. We'll give you real life examples from our day-to-day lives of over 30 years of experience on this journey. You'll learn tools and techniques that you can use every day to bring yourself to the present moment, which is where all of the magic happens. How to be present with your thoughts, words, and actions, and also in every moment. And that's where we're going to start. So, Deanna.
When I think of, it was 24 years ago when I read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And it's hard to believe it's been 20 years, and that I feel like all the work that I've done up until this point, with all the self-help that I've done to really come into the oneness of who we all are and that we're all connected, is now manifesting. It's manifesting. I can feel it. It's a vibration. And that's what we want to talk about, is our thoughts, our vibration.
Yeah, and I also want to say the teachers that we've been working with more recently, being Dr. Joe Dispenza, number one, and really putting it into practice. I think that's what's really helped us.
Oh, yeah, because...
And it kind of brought everything together that we have experienced up until 2 years ago when we started going to his workshops. But even before that, we were watching him on video, we were reading his books, and but just being in a room with 1,000 or 1,500 other people and learning the science behind meditation and how the meditation actually affects our thoughts.
Well,
but the very first workshop that we went to in Rochester
was the NCS, the Neuro Change Solutions.
Yes, and we got to go to that because one of our clients, who has a company, had commissioned the teacher to come to Rochester to work with her staff. And so she knew that I knew Dr. Joe Dispenza, invited us to go to the workshop. So it was a 10-hour workshop. What was great about it is that you and Sam, my daughter, and Deanna and Sam and myself, we all did it together. And so even after the first 3 hours, the next day when we went to work, we already started, and actually Sam and I started at home that next morning with changing our thoughts.
Because if you want to change your personal reality, you have to change your personality.
Yeah, and so the thoughts that we think and the words that we speak.
And the emotion behind the words that we speak are a vibration.
It's all energy.
It's energy. And so what you give out comes back to you. I mean, it's very that is so, it's really, we all know that. What you give out comes back to you. But what's most important is the feelings that you have, the emotions, the heart.
And sometimes that's the hard part. It was the hardest part for me to connect those two. And so I had known, even before I did that workshop, that we have over 60,000 thoughts a day. I learned that from the movie The Secret, which I'd love to tell that story if I can. But I didn't know that, and this was a Joe Dispenza teaching, that 95% of the thoughts that we have today are the same thoughts we had yesterday. That was so mind expanding for me, because when I put that into practical terms, okay, so becoming aware of your thoughts is the first step. Okay, so because we have those rants all day. You can't stop your thoughts, and a lot of people think that that's what meditation is stopping your thoughts, but you can't do that. In meditation, you're actually going into another quantum, you're going into the quantum field in meditation. And sometimes it takes a while to get there. Even as a seasoned meditator,
you have
some days it takes time to get there. And like Dr. Joe says, you never have a bad meditation, because whenever you take that time to do it. But meditating helps you to become aware of your thoughts. I think that has been the most like
Liberating?
well, not liberating, but it was the strongest, like realization that I had from meditating is to become aware of your thoughts, because it's you in darkness and your thoughts, and of course we're doing the guided meditation. So we've got Dr. Joe in our ears, and the music and everything. And that is all to help you get into the quantum field. Because for years before that, I would just sit and meditate. And I almost slipped there. I would sit and meditate and just with no noise, no sound, nothing.
And wouldn't your mind go like on a rant? It would just like be even talking really fast. All the thoughts would come faster and faster and faster when I tried to do that. And that's the thing is when you're, doing a silent meditation, you want to just focus on your breath and not on all the words, but becoming aware of all your thoughts. The meditation does help you to do that.
And then when you practice it every day, but I want to get back to like the practical, the practical part of, so like Deanna and I work together. We work together on a daily basis. And so I might like verbalize a negative thought that I was having. And you would say, and so it was a little jarring because Deanna would say, stop it,
or
like,
change it.
No, you say stop it. And I'm like, then you stop immediately, right? And then she would say, okay, change it. And so sometimes I would, just go in and like, how could I say that differently? Can you think of an example?
I don't know where my phone is. We all have that.
Deanna does that very often.
I don't know where my phone is. And then she'll say,
stop it.
Yeah. And then change it. And then I'll say, oh, where are you, phone? And it's fascinating because it works.
It works
every time. So you
but
just
then
let it go.
Go ahead.
You let it go and you walk, and then you end up like walking in the direction of where your thoughts or where your phone is, and you're like surprised. But it's like it's so natural, and that's the power. That's the power that we have within us.
Well, and then also what we learned with Dr. Joe was to, so that would be a really good example of something that happens often. Don't we all misplace our phones? Mm-hmm. And so get into the feeling of having found it.
What does that feel like?
So, and if you can't feel it, so you just say, oh, there you are, or there it is. And you'd like get all excited.
Yay, and then you feel gratitude.
Yeah.
And gratitude is the
ultimate state
of receivership.
Yes.
So really being grateful for it too.
Yes.
It's so cool.
Yeah. So you can do that with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anything at all. And everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When we did the NCS training, the Neuro Change Solutions training, and then I knew after the first day I was going to sign up for a week-long advanced meditation because of the facilitator, Robert. He was great, and he was talking about what happens at these events, and they would sell out in a minute. Remember that? And he told us how we would be able to get on and actually be able to register for it. And that was a whole system in itself. It was really good to know.
Yes.
And in preparation for that, we did the NCS training right at the end of June, and then the next event was going to be in November.
Yeah, and we started meditating that night,
mm-hmm.
and we did it every single day. So I had a healing happen before we even went to the week-long workshop.
But before you mention that, what I want to say is that a requirement for the advanced week-long retreat is that you have to take this 30-hour online progressive course.
Right.
And because it gives you the basic knowledge of the science behind meditation. And
also you get the practical, he's guiding you in meditations too.
And he does on the progressive what he does in the workshop, in which he lectures and then you meditate.
Yes.
And so it's like more like a meditation boot camp. But one of the first things that I remember, like that, I had like a light bulb go off when Dr. Joe, because I knew that all the answers were within. And when he said it, he was like, with having the internet at our fingertips, we can find out anything we want. And when you connect to your inner being, your higher self, you have all the answers within. And it all comes because we're directly connected.
Okay, so knowing that is one thing. Learning it is one thing. Knowing it is another level. Embodying it, that because of how programmed we are and how conditioned we are. First of all, by our families, and then by society and by school and all of that. It's all a program, all conditioning. No one teaches you when you're little. Maybe it's happening more now that, we're teaching our children that they have the answers within them, but not when we were growing up. And, many subsequent generations after us as well. And so I feel like that that is the first obstacle, or challenge or friction, is to remember that all the time that we have the answers within us.
Yeah.
So there, you need to have a prompt for that. So Deanna would ask me questions of how to do something, and I would say, "How do you think? How do you think it would be done? Or what do you think would be the first step to doing that?" And so it's really wonderful. We have really been blessed because we work together. We're so close, and that, we're constantly together to be able to bounce it. We mirror each other.
Yeah.
We mirror each other all the time.
And to have a mirror with you 24/7 is it's wonderful and not so wonderful sometimes, because when you're
so true.
when your shadow side, and that's the reason for doing this work, is to transcend your shadow. And when I first found out that I had a shadow, I was like, me, Miss Pollyanna, doesn't have a shadow. I was the biggest people pleaser. And
how many years ago did you realize that you had a shadow? Because we've been doing this,
it was almost,
all this work for decades.
It was 25 years ago.
25 years ago. Yeah.
So, and I have so much to say about that, but I'll go into that story later about the waking up from my dream that I was my own worst enemy.
Oh, yeah.
But back to the Joe Dispenza work, the other thing that he said that was just, it was mind expanding. And notice that we're saying mind expanding and not mind blowing because of the energy of it, the vibration of it, and how it feels.
And so, and because I'm a visual person, so imagine, mind blowing and mind expanding. So
there's an emoji for the mind blowing, and it's not pretty. Can you imagine this big beautiful violet light when your mind expanding.
Mind expanding.
So you're connecting to the quantum field when your mind expanding.
Yeah.
But what he said is that our physical bodies are 0.0001% of who we totally are. And the other 99.99999% is non-physical. We can't see it. And when he said that to me, it was just like I said, so mind expanding, that I was like, this is so great, because in the quantum field, there's infinite possibilities. And he really, really just repeats it so much, because to grasp it, to grasp that concept when you've been so used to thinking that everything physical was real, that it's not. And, and then, it just, one thing leads to another. It's like this ripple effect. Yeah. Once you realize that this is only 0.0001% of who we truly are, then you want to find out who the rest of you is.
Well, and you have to be open to want to also, because once you make that step, there's no going backward.
No.
But one of the things I wanted to say about the mirroring and everything is that if you have someone in your life that's close to you, whether it's a sibling or, I'm speaking directly to our audience, whether it's a sibling or your partner or, your spouse.
Your best friend.
Yeah, that you, talk to them and have them do the work with you. And it makes it amplifies it, and it also solidifies it. So, because you it's not like you always have to be on guard, but you're always aware.
You're always aware.
And always aware. Yes. And the awareness keeps opening up and opening up. It's like, it's like a flower, that just, when you see a video, of a flower, blossoming, and it's just like in the stages of that. And that's what is happening, is that we are flowers blossoming into, this new awareness of that we're all connected.
Oh.
And that Deanna and I, yes, we can communicate without speaking because we've been together since conception, but everyone's going to be able to do that. That, everything that's happening in our outer world right now is supporting that. So we have to talk about what not to do.
Okay.
Like, one of the first things that I gave up, and it was a couple of decades ago, was watching TV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't even had a TV in my house for a couple of decades, only to watch movies. That's what we use our TV for.
So why?
The news is the worst thing, the absolute worst thing to put into your mind, because whatever you put into your mind comes out. And so
it also, if you're watching, like when you watch the news, it's all bad news. It doesn't feel good. And when I became really aware of how my body was feeling, and that our bodies are the barometers to what level of vibration we're broadcasting out there. So do I want to bring negativity into my life? No, I'm trying to transcend all of my own negativity. So why would I bring it in? And if it doesn't feel good, I don't want to do it anymore. It's got to feel good.
Right.
And so, when the first time that you said to me is that box on the wall is a programmer.
It's a programmer. That's why it's called TV programs.
And I was oh my God.
Yeah, it's a program.
Yeah.
And it's programming your mind. So if you don't want to be programmed and you want to program your own mind, it's almost like brainwashing yourself, and using YouTube for that, because there are so many wonderful positive things that people talk about, like, our podcast right here, and that we're sharing this because it has changed our whole lives. It's changed. Yeah. We're completely different people than we were even like 2 years ago, before we started Dr. Joe. And I think that we all had a timeline shift when COVID, when that whole thing happened.
That's when the rose-colored glasses were taken off. And I don't even want to use that cliche. I always relate it to The Truman Show, the movie The Truman Show with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And how I unzipped my world that I thought was real.
Yeah.
And it took me probably a few days to assimilate it, because I was like, oh my gosh, nothing that I've known it was real is really real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just mind expanding as well.
Yeah. And so what happened was that a lot of people woke up during that time. And there have been a lot of different things that have happened where a lot of people woke up at one time. So what's happening is that we're raising the level of consciousness, so that's one of our missions, is to raise the level of consciousness. And we're doing that just by teaching you how to become more conscious and present. Okay, so I know there are many things that we want to talk about, but I want to lead right into Deanna and I see clients on, a regular basis, like 3 days a week, and we see them every 15 minutes. And some of these people that we've seen for years, they come in like once a month, once every 3 months. So last Friday I did a little experiment because I wanted to see if I had a thought, if, that was being transferred to anybody. So I was getting the feeling of being excited. And so I asked one of my first clients, I said, what are you excited about today? I said, okay, so I didn't say that yet. And she goes, well, I'm excited that, I think I might have said, and you can't mention Thanksgiving. I mean, this was last week. And so she goes, well, I'm excited that I'm picking my daughter up from college on Monday. And I'm like, okay, it can't be in the future. It has to be in the present moment. Right now, what are you excited about in this moment? And there was silence. And she couldn't come up with anything. So I gave her an example. I said, well, I am so excited that I'm here and that I'm helping you to feel really good about yourself right now because I'm sculpting your eyebrows. And I'm so excited that you came in to see me. You know, and I'm really, really excited that I woke up. I woke up today and I'm breathing and I'm healthy and I'm really excited about all of that stuff. And when you think about it, you know, you can become excited about it. And so she still never verbalized anything. I think what I did was, you know, just planted a seed to help her expand. So it happened to be a very dreary day. And I noticed that people were walking in, you know, like just like this, you know, just like
lethargic,
not very happy, you know, and a few people made a comment about the weather. And I said, but we just had 2 whole days of sunshine. Yes. You know, it was glorious. It was wonderful. And you have the story this morning when you were on your walk.
Yeah. So I've been walking with my friend, as you know, and this morning, well, she had told me like she's been really affected by the lack of sun. And she feels like just depressed. And it's a thing. It's seasonal depression. And I encouraged her to get the happy light or the light that mimics it. And you do it a half hour a day. And it helps. It helps with when we don't have sun. So we've been going for these amazing walks in Webster Park because we live right down the street and it's in our own backyard. But to be one with nature, it just like totally shifts how you're feeling, and we're doing it first thing in the morning. And so we've been walking like for like a few months now. And this morning, as we're walking, I said, we're just about approaching the lake. And I said, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful today. And it was cloudy. And she goes, yeah. And the sun's not even, it's shining. And it's really beautiful. Look at us. You know, we're walking with these light jackets on November 25th. And it's like so beautiful. And it really, at the end, she hugged me goodbye because she felt so good.
I love that.
She had... she's expanding. She's expanding.
Yes, yeah.
So, and it's through, you know, we talk the whole time and we go back and forth, and I give her all of these tools.
So it's so wonderful when you become aware of it and you practice it, and then anyone, especially someone that you're close to, is in your field, you know, and then you can help them to reframe their thoughts.
Yes.
I mean, you even I witnessed you do that at the Brighton Market a couple of weeks ago when a woman was saying, oh, you know, I could have, it was a cold day, and she said, I could have dressed warmer. She goes, I should have dressed. And then she goes, no, I could have dressed warmer. And then what did you say? Do you remember?
No.
It was something like, maybe you said, you could have, but you didn't. I don't know. It was something like that. And she said, thank you for helping me reframe that. So that was a perfect stranger, you know, so you just reframed it for her.
Because we're doing it all the time.
Yes.
And it's amazing. And you can even shift your own energy. Like if you're feeling, you know, down for no reason at all, go on YouTube and watch cat and dog videos.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll make you laugh. They will like warm your heart, and it feels so good. And as a matter of fact, we're going to share with you this very special video at the end of my granddaughter, who's 4.5 years old, and her encounter with the Grinch and how she was scolding the Grinch.
So little backstory to that is that since she was 1.5 years old, and her daddy took her to Lowe's. 2.5 years old, and Daddy took her to Lowe's, and Daddy's Deanna's son, and he said she could get anything she wanted at Lowe's, and she picked out. It was around Christmas time, and she picked out this little
2-foot Grinch.
Grinch, and she was really drawn to Grinch, and she really liked him,
and she carried him all over.
Yeah,
she taught him how to climb the steps. It was so cute. She was encouraging the Grinch, like, "You can do it. One more. I know you can do it," because that's how they were teaching Cece.
Yeah,
how to climb the steps. And ever since then, I mean, it's everything Grinch.
Yeah, so she had an encounter because there was an opportunity for her to ice skate with the Grinch. And this is out in California. And so we have a really cute video after she skated with the Grinch, right? She was actually scolding him.
She had a one-on-one with the Grinch. It was in conversation with the Grinch.
And her mom happened to videotape it. It was fantastic.
It was perfect.
So So
it'll warm your heart.
Yeah.
And when I showed it, I've been showing it to clients. And when I showed it to Diane the other day, she's like, she must bring so much joy to everybody. And I said, yeah. So if you want to be brought to joy, watch the video at the end.
Yeah, for sure. So 2 things that we were going to talk about that we didn't. So one was watching the movie The Secret. So this was really like my first foray. Oh, we're all manifestors.
Yeah.
And manifesting is something that is a big buzzword lately, is manifesting. You too can manifest. This is how you manifest. And there's all kinds of coaches out there teaching different ways to manifest. And they're all kind of saying the same thing.
Yes, they are.
So you've manifested your whole life up until this point. And this is what I would say is that I was an unconscious manifester until I saw the movie The Secret. But even, it's still even after that. So I'll talk a little bit about that. But first, so I was in transition. I had ended a 14-year relationship with my children's dad. And I was going on the road. I was going to visit my another sister in South Carolina. And so one of the first days I was there, Deanna sent me it through email. And this is when the movie The Secret was only being distributed through email. So this was before it became, a big, huge thing where I remember seeing it on the Good Morning America show, that they were talking about the movie The Secret. And the movie The Secret was all about changing your thoughts and you can change your reality.
Right.
Okay. But they really simplified it. It wasn't that simple. It's simple. However, it was for me because when I left the 14-year relationship, I walked away with nothing, and I didn't even have a car. And so I had always wanted at that time, we're going back 20 years, a Honda Element. My children were little. I thought it would be perfect. And so after watching the movie, I went online to the Honda website, and I was in South Carolina, just outside of Hilton Head, and I went. So I went onto the Hilton Head Honda, Hilton Honda website, and I built the Honda that I wanted. The very next day, the Hilton Head Honda calls me and says, we have a Honda here that may, be what you had ordered online, maybe similar to it. It wasn't anything like it, but I thought, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Here I was homeless, jobless, workless, because I had brought, what was left of the makeup business that I had with me. And so we went, some of the kids and I went, and I was driving my sister's daughter's it was just an old car. It was a nice car, but it was an old car, and I had to fill the tires with air every day, and it had no air conditioning. It was like 90 degrees there. So anyway, I go, and we test drive this beautiful orange Honda Element. And so we pull back into the parking lot, and I said, guys, kids, what do you think? Should we get this? And they're like, yes. And so we go in, we start talking. I start talking to the salesman, and so I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? I just filed bankruptcy last year, and right now I don't have a lot of income, and I'm I'm like in limbo right now, and so I called Deanna on the phone, and I said, Deanna, can you co-sign for me? And of course, Deanna would do anything for me.
For Deborah.
Anything. And as I would for her as well. And so I was getting a little overwhelmed with the talk on finances. And so I said, excuse me, I got to go call a friend. And so I called Deanna back, and I said, this is what he's saying. What do I do? What do I say? And so it just so happened in that moment, you had a client in your chair who was a car saleswoman.
Yeah.
And so she guided me in what to say. I went back in. We drove off the lot in our brand new Honda. And I had no idea how I was going to make the first car payment. And back then, 20 years ago, it was about $400, which was, a lot. A sizable amount back then.
But
I had no idea.
And I knew that it would be okay if I co-signed, because I knew that you were going to be able to make the payments.
Yeah.
So that even elevated, or it magnified your vibration.
Yeah.
And so that is why, going back to like, we're all one, we're all connected, and we want everyone to rise up. We want everyone to become the greatest version of who they are meant to be in this lifetime.
Yeah. So that was just one little story. And we've had many, many more stories happen since then, which we'll share along the way. But I think for now, we've got to wrap it up because we've been talking long enough.
Yeah, we could go on and on and on because we have so many stories, and we love doing this. We have talks like this all the time.
Yeah.
On the phone, like when we're not working together, we're calling, we connect in the morning, we connect at night.
Yes.
And we're together a lot.
Yeah. So we're here to be here to offer these tools and ideas for you and to plant the seeds for a mind expanding life. And so if you love everything that you've heard today, like the video and subscribe. And we're going to be putting out videos just twice a month now. And we're really, really excited. We're so, so grateful to have you here with us. And we want to thank you for being here. And we love you.
Thank you so much. We are so happy to be here. We're so happy you're here. Please leave us a comment, and questions, and we will be looking at every comment and responding. So we're here to assist. We're here to assist and to help you realize that who you really are, and
that you are very, very powerful. We're all very powerful human beings, and we have the power to create our own lives and how we want to see it. Okay? Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
See you next time.
Bye.
And they are so special from Santa.
Really? I wish someone brought me a present. Maybe if I got a present, I'd like Christmas.
If you were nice to Christmas, you would.
I would? You mean, so if I'm nice, I might get a present? Wow.
You have to make a Christmas list.
Okay.
Well, you were going to ask him how long did it take him to get here?
How long did you get here?
Hours and hours. Max was driving. I kind of took a nap. Wow.
Dad can drive.
Sure he can, if it's a reindeer dog. What's so funny? You don't think Max can drive?
No, he can't drive a bus.
Well, I don't ride a bus. I ride a sleigh. What do you ride?
I ride a car.
Car? Wow, that's kind of weird.
No.
Who pulls your car? Do you have a reindeer?
No. Mommy drives me. And I sit in a kite.
Your mommy pulls the car? You got her well trained?
She drives the car. I don't know how to drive.
Oh, well played. Yeah, she just drives you. She takes you places.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah, you got her well trained.